I recently had a bad experience with a stranger while at the beach. Their off-leash dog was running up to us and trying to bite towards mine, which I had on the leash. I sat my dog down the first time it ran up and said, "No thank you," to the other dog, while the owner was yelling its name over and over and over to no avail. When it turned around, we continued walking, but I took a wide circle as I did not want anything terrible to happen to my pup. As you may have guessed, their off-leash dog came charging again, this time growling, barking, and biting towards us. I did my best to prevent a bad situation by blocking the dog access to mine. Meanwhile, the owner was shouting how his dog won't do anything, wants to play, is friendly, and by this point, I could feel the heat rising up to my eyes and ears. I was so annoyed. He then yelled at me not to go near his dog. It was so bizarre that all I could say as soon as the dog bit towards us was, "That's exactly why I do not want to interact with your dog. Have a nice day." I said nothing more, but gave a hearty stare down. As much as I adore dogs, I am still aware of the consequences for certain actions from one dog to another, just as I am for cats, birds, etc. An animal is still an animal. The same goes for humans. We are not naturally accepting of interactions that begin with people running up towards us, yelling in our faces, and threatening to hurt us. This is not kindness. The frustration stayed with me for a while. My heart rate and blood pressure was higher, and my breathing was sporadic. It clearly made me anxious and fearful that this animal could hurt Bambi and I. The rough part was, I was about to work on my breath hold times in the coolness of the lake, about 10 meters from this man. Even though I made sure to check my body language was calm and confident, my mind was racing, but I knew that I needed to settle my physiology before beginning. Otherwise, my time would be very short-lived. In order to do this, I tried to put that overstimulating interaction out of my mind, knowing Anthony was watching Bambi on the beach and trusting Bambi's personality and training. I let my mind focus on the things around me. The flow of the calm waters, the sand and pebbles below my feet, the rustling trees that lined the borders of the lake, leaves twirling as they fell in the gentle breeze. Suddenly, I could feel my breathing getting slower and deeper, taking in more oxygen and calming my mind further. So I went under. Underwater, I was reminded that this is the most peaceful place I can be. The silence is almost deafening, but the colors, the slow movement of the sand where my fingers grazed, and the little fish that pecked my toes all made a smile grow across my face. It suddenly didn't matter how that man treated us. My pup was safe and well trained. Anthony was calm and relaxing on the sand, and I was just floating with the anthill-sized waves on the surface of the lake. 56 seconds, Anthony exclaimed. I was not fully proud of that timing, but considering my disability, the progress of my adaptation to my new body, and all the nerve damage that comes with it, and my inability to swim very often this summer, that was actually a small win for me. When I'm overstimulated, I do my best to find a way to drown out the noise. Noise comes in all shapes and forms. For me, it's flashing lights, loud and multiple conversations, booming music, lots of action, and very minimal order. But when I'm near water, resting in my solitude, it all fades away. So this is a reminder that I will surely come back to. One that says we ought to remember to bask in the surroundings that bring us tranquility and wash all the bad thoughts and experiences away, letting ourselves just exist peacefully while nature gets on with its living all around us. really liked doing this, I don't know what you call it, ASMR, that silent sound, silent sound, I like that, type thing, type of thing. It was very, very unique, and I've always had an affinity for sound, especially from, there was a movie with the guy from A Quiet Place. This is before A Quiet Place. There was another like indie movie that he did, and he worked on the sound design for it, and I thought it was so cool. I thought, man, the noises, the sounds that he makes and stuff like that. And in the movie, he talks about making sounds from insects, specifically ants that crawl on ant hills, that build ant hills, and taking that sound and making it sound grander whenever he makes sound designs for monsters or whatever. And anyhow, I thought, wow, that's pretty cool, and I never did anything about that. And so when I did this, this silent sound session, I was like, this is actually kind of cool. And there is something else that's coming out of this, so I hope it turns out the way I envision or better. That would be pretty cool. And I'm also going to be doing a little, let's say, I don't know, a little test in the next 2 weeks or so. I'm currently preparing for it, and you will see more about that in 2 weeks from now. Hopefully I can do the video at that time. I might not. I don't know if I'll do the video for the Wednesday in 2 weeks from now. It might be for the Thursday, simply because the test I think is on the Wednesday, or on the Tuesday or the Wednesday, one of those days. If you liked what I did today, you can comment what the sounds were, like if you had your eyes closed and listened, or if you're just watching and kind of already surprised that that's what I was using to make the sounds. You can comment and like let me know what kind of things you really liked. My personal favorite was the bubble blowing. At the very end, it kind of sounded like a unique sound for something that crawls against the ground. Anyway, I'm wishing you wonder and room to be yourself from this side of the world. Adios.